Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Bucket's Garage. Today, we got something interesting to do today. We're gonna have a power washer roller tiller. Yeah, well, not quite, but we're gonna take this Dewalt engine off here and put it on that roller tiller. So, I ended up purchasing a lot of stuff over the weekend, during this week anyway. I bought a Dewalt power washer, don't know nothing about it. Rotor tiller that came in. The engine looks like it's pretty much toast and it's missing everything. But you know, it looks like it has a lot of good potential. And well, you know what? It's planting season. So people are gonna want to be rotor tilling their garden. So I want to hurry up and get that thing done, and hopefully it runs great. I just purchased a belt for it because it is missing one of the reverse belts. So I found that. And some Amish company has those. But I was going to do that TAO dirt bike, which has a big hole in the side of it. But I decided, you know what, spring is here. This is more important. So this is what we're going to do today. First thing we got to do is pull the engine off. Well, I'm going to take off the pump and then see if the engine actually runs before I even try to stick it on that roller tiller. So let's get into this and let's see what's wrong with this bad boy first, right? All right. I guess what I'll do first is I'll do a little walk around. It almost looks like a Honda engine, but I do believe this is probably just a Chinese knockoff engine. 196cc. Should definitely be enough to run that. Looks like they use a lot of duct tape to cover that thing up. Probably broken cover or whatever. So, yeah, we're going to end up taking this off. First, we're going to see if it runs, get it running. Then it's going to go on this tiller, which is a Scotts. I thought it was a nice looking tiller. I actually picked this up last year, so it's been sitting around here. Figure, well, this would be good for spring. I know it was making some kind of noise when I pulled it. It doesn't sound promising. So, let me, maybe we'll just do a fast forward on this and I'll cut this off, take this off, and see what it sounds like after that. Woo, came right off. Well, that was unusual. All right. Let's see what it sounds like now. I think there's something rubbing in there. So let's pull that cover off. Right there, it's dented, guys. Look at there. So right there, it's dented. That's what was making the noise. Got this cover put aside. This one here, yeah, it was dented in pretty good on this side, and it's real easy to dent out. You just hit it a little bit. It's real soft metal, and there was a lot of this stuff in there. Look at, there's a bean in there. I'm gonna plant that bean and actually see if it grows. Little bean, look at there. Just for the fun of it. And there's pumpkin seeds, but the pumpkin seeds are all ate up. Of course, you know, Jerry made a home in here. All right, now we're just gonna put all this back together. And we're gonna see if we can turn this bad boy over. Get it up and make it run. Make it live again instead of being in a scrapyard. Getting ready to be crushed, made into a foreign car. Well, of course, with the tariffs now, maybe it made into an American car. I don't know. All right, well, we'll get her done. Oh yeah, and they use 8mm and 10mm to hold this cover on. So right now, that one's stuck in there. That one's a 10 for this cover. And then there's a nut that goes on there, which is a 10, that holds the bottom part of that cover on. So, and then these up here are 8s. 8mm. Now, by the way, you'll have these little short ones in case you forget where they go. The short ones actually go on here, around this. Because if they're any longer, they're going to rub inside this cover. Alrighty. Let me get this all back together, guys. I'm sure you don't want to watch it. All right. Listen to that. That sounds good. No more rubbing. I doubt if it's going to start because I can smell the rotten gas. It doesn't smell very good. So, yep. Oh. So we're going to put a little chemical juice in this bad boy. Gonna find my chemical juice. Where's it at? I should check the oil. I did not do that. Buckets, what's the matter with you? You got to check the oil first. I know. Whoa. Well, I don't have to worry about that. A little over full. All right. Let's do some chemical juice. Nothing. Power's on. Chemical juiced. Uh-oh. Yeah, I probably had some water in there. Who knows? This thing was upside down when I found it.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hey, sounds pretty good, guys. Besides, needs that carburetor cleaned out. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and clean this carburetor. As Terrell says, the carburetor. Clean this out. And then we'll pull the engine off. Then the real fun begins when we put the power washer on that. Okay, guys, I tell you what. Wing night was last night. Sorry, Adam. I know you like wing night, but hey, it was last night, and they were good. And I fell right asleep. And if you hear that noise in the background, it's windy out there. That's the doors squeaking. So, this thing's ready to go. Put it on choke. Turn the fuel on. And I'll show you what that carburetor looked like. It was pretty bad. All that ethanol gas in there. Switch on. Looks good. Now I'm going to pull that motor out, boys. Well, let me show you that carburetor. All right, here's the old carburetor. I sacrificed this one because that's frozen and it's shot right there. So I took all the piece parts out of this because they all look like this. Well, the ball was bad. That was stuck and that was shot. Here, I can do a super zoom. Look at that. Now, there you go. That's a better scene. And you can see that shot. I mean, I could clean them up, but why when I had a parts carb? All right, that's going to get tossed out. All right, now she's ready. We're going to pull this engine off now. 13 millimeter. Okay. Disappeared. Cool. Now we're going to clean off this bench and we're going to get that to the rod. Next. Before I lift it up, we're going to just pull this engine off. It's total garbage. We're going to get all this stuff off the front. Hopefully it's all the same for that engine over there. These cables were all frozen. Taro gave me one of these. And all you do is, if you've seen this video, you saw it. You know, you put the cable through, get it to a stops, and then you just tighten it up. You get the idea. I did it, and I let this one sit overnight too because it was pretty stuck. You get these rolled tight, and you put your spray on there, and it sprays and lubricates the whole cable inside. And now it's loose. If you need one of those, probably Taro will sell these on this online store, I would imagine. So let's get this old, it looks like it might have been a Tecumseh. I don't know. Can't tell at the moment. I'm just going to take that off. We're going to cut that out of the way. Let's see. What else do I need out of the way? This thing's bent. Still falling off the ceiling. I went a little too high. It almost hit the ceiling. And I'm going to make sure I remember where all this stuff goes. And I do believe that's going to be a 13. So we'll zip them off. Is it a 13? Inquiring minds want to know. Gosh, it is a 13. 13 there, Sonny. Where's my wrench? There it is. Found it. Got it. All right. I'm not prepared. Buckets, why didn't you prepare? I waste so much time. We do it like this. Of course, I'm going to need an extension on that one. That's probably overkill extension. Going to need a little shorter one. You know, it feels like late afternoon, but it's really early morning. Well, not that early. 11 o'clock. Actually, these are standard on this one. I guess the engine I was working on was metric. But I'm going to put the metric ones on that I took off that power washer. So this is going to be a power washer generator. Hey, that's an idea, power washer generator. Yeah, but this is going to be a power washer relative. I tell you what, I hate the smell of old gas, guys. Whew. Everything in here stinks like it. I cleaned it up, scrubbed it, it still stinks. It's probably on my gloves or clothes. I'm definitely don't like a shower after this one. Scrub with this Lysol and Ajax. Nah, just kidding. Alright, now that we got those 4 bolts off, the 13 millimeter, which these probably ain't 13. Standard. A half inch, maybe? Now, you gotta get that belt loose on the back. Alright. And there's a spring back there. Get that spring off. Is that spring attached down here? Yep, right there. You know, I'm going to let that spring hang there. But I am going to loosen. I'm going to need to take this cable off. so I don't do any damage to it, stretch it or kink it. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Get that off. The little cotter key out of there. And then it'll come off here. That's weird. Look at that. Gets to a point where you can't get to it. Wow. Wow. Ingenuity there. I think I'd just do it the other way. I'm going to force it out of there a little bit, guys. I'm not going to take all that off. Bend it just a little bit. Then take it off there. Now, well, there's the water that's coming out of the engine. I'm going to pull this cable. And they got this crimped a bit. Kind of a cheap way, I think, the way you got these cables on there. Yeah, let's put it on and then just crimp it. All right. Okay. That engine's off. I'm going to wipe it off a bit. Matter of fact, I got to go out to the vehicle and, get my other belt that I bought. That way I don't forget to put that on. Got both engines up here. I'm hoping that's not metric, but I have the bolts if I have to. These holes are probably metric on here, and these are probably standard. So you got to watch. When you do the engine swap, make sure, if you save the bolts, save them, but I'm almost certain these are metric and these are standard. You're going to screw it up if you actually try to put those in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this bracket off here first, which is probably a 1/2 inch, but I'm using a 13. All right, that's one. Put that washer back. Now that looks like it is metric on this one, at least fine thread. I'm going to double check that. Then you got the bracket back here. That bracket. Sorry if I'm in the way, guys. Let's see if I can do that with my fingers. Tighten up my fingers here. Luckily, that's the same bolt or the same pattern, so same treads. I'm putting in with my fingers. They're going in finger wise. They might go in a couple times, but since these are going in a lot with my fingers, almost all the way, we're good. We're good to go. Wow, that was lucky. Now, before I go ahead and put this on, I'm going to see if I can get that pulley off there. Is it 14? Oh yeah, 14. Get that off. Wow, I see what was wrong with this engine. Hear it? Yeah, busted piston or crankshaft is busted in there. Oh, that slid right off nicely. Wow, that is awesome. And it is the same size shaft. That's great. I checked it firsthand, but I want to double check it, you know, before I went ahead and did all this with my veneers. I'll put this on. You probably, if you want, you could probably put a little Loctite on it. Now, hopefully this center is the right size. And I've got a feeling it's not. Nope. So I'm going to have to find myself a proper size to fit inside there. This one's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. So I'll put a little Loctite in. So let me go look for a fastener for it. All right, got ourselves a nice washer. All right, that should be good. We'll put this back on. All right, this engine part is ready to go on. Now I must do a little bit of a fix up here, put this cable back on. All right, now gotta make sure I get these belts on correctly, because actually I don't know how these belts actually go on the back belt anyway. That must go like this. Okay. Let's double check. Definitely can't go like that. So it must go over top of that. I don't know. Not quite exactly sure. Guess I'm gonna have to look that up. Well, I don't know if you guys ever had the problem with this thing, but for the reverse belt, now it took me a while to figure this out because I didn't have no paperwork or nothing on this Scotts. I tried looking it up online, tried looking up a couple other videos, and it doesn't show any place how to replace these belts. So the one drive belt forward belt goes like this, as you can see, but the reverse belt, you got to turn it inside out like that, because this is flat inside here. That pulley is flat, so you turn it inside out. So the tapered part comes outward like that. See? I was like, how does this work? Wait a minute. It took me a while to figure this out. I'm like, I've never done one of these before. And, you know, there we go. There it is. So if you're wondering and you're looking up going, holy buckets, there it is. That's how you do it. It goes on that back side up over the engine pulley, comes back over the idler pulley, and back down. And remember, it's flipped around. All right. Now, I'll have to get the spring on and the cable. First thing I'm going to do now, we got to bolt this engine down. You guys didn't see me fighting with that and going, what in the world? Scratching my head. So I'm going to go with these bolts that I took out from the power washer. Go with those. She's ready for her run, guys. I got camera girl to give me a hand. Oh, there it goes. I hate it when these wheels lock. So, we're just going to start it and let it go on its own power. Get turn the switch on. I think what I'm going to do, guys, also I'm going to put a switch up here for on and off. I don't like the idea of having to reach over the motor with the, in case you have a problem and it catches your foot. Safeties, you know? Safeties. Now what I did is I took that sticker off that plastic we took off there. Now it's called Scotts Dewalt. That's right. Guys, yeah. She's ready to go. Way too muddy, but man, it's super fast. You can get that garden done in no time. That's right. Well, way too muddy. Definitely way too muddy for doing this right now. And it's only March. What, March? What's the camera girl? What's the date today? 20th?
22nd.
Last weekend was St. Patrick's Day. Whatever. So, guys, hey, don't forget to like Canna Reeves here, yeah, and subscribe. All right, guys, that's it for today. Whew, and it's starting to snow again.
It's chilly.
Yeah, oh well. Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming to Bucket's Garage. You guys take care, and we'll see you again. See you next weekend. Bye-bye now.